guys, we're back with part 2 of our Japan vlog series. We took a train from Osaka to Kyoto, which was pretty quick as we took the Rapid Limited Express. We stayed at a traditional tea room inspired ryokan and were welcomed with some matcha tea and sweets after checking in. Nishiki Market is just a short walk away, and while many videos tell you to avoid it as it's a tourist spot, we both felt it's still worth a visit, especially if it's your first time there like us. We tried quite a bit of food, and not all were hits, so here's what we ate and our personal ratings for each of them. Too full for a proper dinner after eating our way through the market, so we walked around the area and grabbed a late cup of coffee at Blue Bottle. This place is called Kyoto Onimaru, and we didn't know that it was going viral online. We happened to walk past this shop and saw that they had a great selection of onigiris, so we brought some home to try. It turned out to be pretty yummy, so do give it a try if you're in the area. The weather was perfect on the day we decided to spend our time around the Philosopher's Path. Summer usually brings about quite a bit of rain, but there were only sunny skies when we were there. We enjoyed our morning coffee with traditional Japanese sweets over at this welcoming cafe. They make these sweets in-house and have a limited number available each day, so be sure to come by early to try them. We took our time to slowly explore as we made our way towards the Philosopher's Path. There were so many cute shops to explore, crafts to admire, and so much natural beauty in our surroundings to take in. We wandered off into a smaller alley and found ourselves at Cafe Chikoro for lunch. The owner started this cafe in her grandparents' home, which is over 100 years old, and she worked in the US for a bit, so it was so easy to chat with her. Tried our best to cool off in the warm heat of summer while we waited excitedly for the lunch set that so many raved about in Google reviews. It's a simple set consisting of inari with sesame and shisho leaves, along with a pork miso soup with seasonal vegetables, which are said to be grown locally or at her small farm. It was such a simple and homely meal, and yet one of the best meals we had in Kyoto because of that same reason. The simplicity of ingredients within the inari really allowed each flavour to shine, and the pork miso soup was so loaded and rich in flavours that we were sure to savour every last drop. heat was definitely not playing around. Even the fishes in the canal were hiding from the sun because it was just too unbearably hot. We were still extremely full from lunch, but couldn't resist some soft serve ice cream to cool us down. After completing the path, we made a crazy decision to continue our stroll all the way back to our accommodation. We stopped by Blue Bottle Coffee first to get hydrated with some of their Nola float and another lemony float, which I can't remember the name of now. It was a good choice to get one coffee and one not because they really balanced each other out. After clocking close to 20k steps, we decided to have ramen for dinner and settled for this spot, which was awarded the Michelin Bib Gourmand Award a few years ago. We initially went to their Ebisunocho location 20 minutes before it opened, but the queue was already too long and the wait was likely going to be over an hour. So off he went to check out the other Hanare location while I stayed in queue. And true enough, the queue was much shorter over at Hanare, so I zoomed over to join him. We were the last in queue and also thankfully the last to have made the cut for the first batch of diners. We got their homemade shumai to share, but it was pretty normal, so skip it and save your appetite for the rest. I had their sliced roasted pork ramen with white soy sauce, while he had the grilled wagyu beef ramen with black soy sauce as recommended by the staff. We also added on a spicy miso minced Kyoto pork rice, just for good measure. The dashi broth had a little lighter taste than the usual tonkatsu broth we're used to, but overall still very flavorful and delicious. We returned to our new accommodations early and went straight to the onsen since it was pretty empty during dinner time. I had never felt happier to soak my tired feet. We started our day off early, and while most cafes open late, this bakery opens at 7:30 AM. So we grabbed some pastries from here and went off to this beautiful and popular coffee spot for a much needed dose of caffeine. I'm glad we got there early because it started pouring when we were just about to leave, and we almost had to enjoy our coffee in the rain as they don't really have a lot of seats available. I thought I would much prefer if it was sunny, but it turns out that rainy Kyoto has a whole different vibe to it, and I would totally choose rain over the insane heat. Google reviews led us to this little spot that serves piping hot bowls of handmade udon and soba. It's not every day that you see kindness and smile as the top mentioned keywords in a Google food review. That's when you know you're going to a spot with good vibes that transform the experience. And true enough, the lady who welcomes you at the door is so warm and friendly that you immediately feel like you should return to this spot for all of your meals. ordered the udon with a side of oyakodon, while he had the prawn udon with extra tempura. I savoured every bite of the springy udon and enjoyed the oyakodon so much as well. We wandered further down the street to Goodman Roaster, Kyoto for some respite from the rain and our second dose of coffee for the day. The pastries and soft serve they had were so inviting, but I just couldn't eat anything more after such a filling lunch. We spent the rest of the afternoon taking it slow, enjoying our strong coffee and each other's company at this really cute spot. Dinner was at this obanzai restaurant near our stay. We found out that obanzai is essentially a traditional Kyoto home cooking style, where at least half of its ingredients are locally sourced, seasonal, and avoids waste. Since this style is native to Kyoto, we knew we had to try it, and thankfully, we managed to get a table with no reservations. We ordered an assortment of food to share and thoroughly enjoyed our meal. The portions were not big, but still a fairly reasonable size for just two to share comfortably. We sat on tatami mats while having our meal, and I definitely felt or didn't feel my legs midway through the meal anymore. Overall, we loved the experience and will definitely try it again. Most cafes only open around 11 AM in Japan, so we often had to have it as a brunch option instead of breakfast. We wandered into this cute cafe called Cafe Marble to get brunch before we went off exploring the Gion district. They are known for their tarts and quiches, so we each had a quiche since we were pretty hungry. We were pleasantly surprised when the staff presented these boxes to us. It turns out that it was their 10th anniversary on the day we visited, so they were gifting each customer a curated box of goodies. The quiche was delicious, and I only wished that the slice we had was bigger because I finished it off in no time. I couldn't resist taking this cute sticker home with me. I love how they've created this cute concept for their cafe and brought out its fun elements through their products as well. After a slow stroll along the Gion district, we stopped at this cafe for some sweet treats. The view was so calming and the overall vibes were so peaceful. We ordered a Swiss roll and also the ice cream parfait to share. We enjoyed the desserts a lot, but the iced matcha was a little too milky and sweet for our liking. A lovely fragrance shop where the staff very sweetly shared about all the different scents that they carry. I ended up going for their gashapon game and went home with a small bottle of their fragrances as a beautiful memento of our trip. After seeing so many shops sell unagi in the area, we decided to have it for dinner. This family-run restaurant only serves one thing, unagi, so you know that they're good. He opted for the whole unagi while I got a smaller portion. Not gonna lie, this wasn't a cheap meal at all. I think it cost us over $100 SGD for this, but thankfully, it was delicious. The unagi was marinated perfectly and had a great texture to it, unlike some other rubbery ones that I've had in the past. Not sure if we would pay that much for a meal again, but it was definitely a nice treat. We still have one more stop in our Japan vlog series, so stay tuned for our next vlog on Wazuka. Thanks for watching and we'll see you at the next one.